Hey there, welcome to School of Emo, the podcast where we dive into the world of emo, pop punk, and everything in between. If you've ever found yourself in your car screaming the lyrics to Taking Back Sunday, wearing way too much eyeliner in the early 2000s, adding a buckle or a chain to every outfit you've put on, you are in the right place. I'm Erin Judge, and each week I will be your fellow student, guiding you through the music, the culture, and the history that shaped an entire generation of angsty teens. I am not the teacher of this school. I am a fellow student, here to learn alongside you and from you. Together, we will cover a lot of information that doesn't really matter, but will remind us of the days of stalking MySpace channels and getting lost in chat rooms. So connect your dial up, turn on your webcam, and let's go to School of Emo. School is officially back in session. Welcome back. I'm glad you are here. If you are here starting at this episode and you're like, where the heck am I? Go to episode 1 where we talk about why we're here. This is only episode 2. So you're very early on and we are still experimenting and exploring. But I am Erin Judge. I am your, I don't even like the word host, but I guess I technically am, but your fellow student. And next week, in a few short days from recording this, I have no idea when this is going to be posted because we're figuring this out. But I am leaving for the Emo's Not Dead cruise. If you are not familiar, this is a cruise that is put on by the Emo's Not Dead brand, which was started by Matt Cutshaw. I don't know where he came from. I should have done some research on this. I'm sure I'll learn. I do know where his wife, Ariel, came from because she was on, was it like Vine? Like she was the social media person through videos back in the day and continued that, was on the like Love Island show as a host. She looks like a model. She is hot, but she's his wife and he does like social media stuff, makes funny videos. I'm pretty sure content creation is where he started, but he also has the band Your Broken Hero. It's his band. And he has somehow interwoven himself into this emo world and started the Emo's Not Dead brand a few years ago and then started this cruise, I think 2 years ago. So I believe this is the third year. So on the cruise, it's like a concert, like music festival on a cruise ship. So it's a multiple day festival that also includes all the amenities and things of a cruise. And they sell out. I don't know how the first year went because I learned about it last year after it had already been going. So I heard about it from the bands that were on it last year. That's how I came across it. It was already sold out at the time, didn't get to go. We'll talk about that. But the first year, I don't know like how quickly it sold out. I know the second year it did sell out fairly quickly. Again, I only heard about it. I think they do it every like start of the year. So February this year, I believe it was February last year. They sold the tickets last year, like right after the cruise was done. I believe like mid-February or mid-March. And then I believe that's what happened the year before. But I heard about it from the bands that were on it around like late summer, early fall of like that year, like last year, the year before last year. So the 2024 cruise, 2023 is whenever I heard about it. So it was too late for me to buy a ticket at the time and tried to win a giveaway for us to go. My husband and I, we did not win. We are still bitter about it, but we didn't get to go. But we knew at that point that we would definitely go the next year. That's how we heard about it. Here we are. So don't know how quickly it sold out, but mega brand right now. And obviously a successful cruise because they sold out within like the first day of selling tickets before a lineup was announced, like a festival. And I believe that's happened 2 years in a row. And this is like their only third year of doing it, which is just like wild. So props to Matt and the Emo's Not Dead team for putting this together. I am incredibly excited to go. And so I thought it would be fun to have a little like pre-cruise class session where we can talk about it. I can share with you some things I'm thinking about it, some predictions, some thoughts, and then we'll recap it and see kind of how that compared because that's why we're here. So this year, the schedule last year, 2024, was my dream lineup. I told you in episode 1, Yellowcard has always been my favorite band. They were like the main band. That's how I heard about it. But last year it was Yellowcard, Story of the Year, Mayday Parade, Hawthorne Heights, Under Oath. Those are like the big ones. There were more, but those were the ones that I was like, oh my God, I will see those bands time and time again every time they come around like near me. I've seen them multiple times, even in that year. I was pumped. I was like, I want that lineup again. I thought it was the perfect lineup. So, what happens when you sign up for the cruise is that you get your ticket, you get your boarding, you buy your cabin before the lineup is announced. And the lineup is usually not announced for like many, many months. I believe we bought our tickets in like early March last year. And then the lineup was like in the summer. So many months after you are already signed up to go, the lineup is announced. So this year, the lineup, so the biggest headliner this year is The Used. Very excited. I did get to see them when we were young. I didn't want to prioritize them. I tried not to go to any bands that were going to be on the cruise, but they were in like the perfect position when we were eating dinner. So it's like, of course, I'm going to sit on the lawn while I'm eating and listen to them because I do like The Used. They were on my list of like, these are bands I listen to, I know the music of, but I haven't seen yet. So I was really excited when they were announced as like the main band. So excited about that. And they were good at when we were young. So pretty excited. Boys Like Girls, I've never seen them live. Chiodos, I've never seen them live. I've actually never been like a huge Chiodos fan. So excited to get exposed to them more. Same for Seosin. I never really listened to them. So again, super excited. I believe both of those were when we were young, but I just, again, didn't want to prioritize those bands because I know I was going to see them a lot on the cruise. Hawthorne Heights is there again. Love them always. We'll see them time and time again. Classic. State Champs, who I've also never been like fully into. So again, super excited. I know that they came to Nashville. They like announced a tour right after they were announced on the cruise. And again, I didn't go because waiting for the cruise, and you'll see why when we go over the schedule. Taylor Acorn, Hey Monday was supposed to be there. They were the original ones on the lineup, but they had to back out. So Taylor Acorn replaced them. I believe she lives in Nashville. I've only really know of her through TikTok. So excited to see her. Norma Jean, a little heavier than I typically go for, but excited. I have a feeling that they're going to put on a good show. I know people are very excited about them. Emery, I like them. Never seen them live either. Didn't go to them for when we were young, again, because they're on the cruise, but they'll be there the early November. Very excited about them. I have seen them. They opened for another band once. Chamberlain, maybe. I forgot what band it was, but one of the shows we saw in Nashville like 2 or 3 years ago. And they were good. Scary Kids, Scaring Kids. I have never even heard of this band. But interested. The Spill Canvas, listen to some of their stuff. It's interesting. Excited again, had never really listened to them. Lydia, same thing. Reclaim the Fallen. I didn't know that they were still around, and I'm very excited to like see them. And then You're a Broken Hero, which again is Matt's band. And then there's also going to be the emo band doing like covers of things. And they have Emo Social listed on the lineup with like some dude's face. I'm going to insert it because I don't know who this dude is. And as a woman, I'm like, nah, probably won't be going to that, but they're there. And then they'll also have some tattoo artists on board, and then a barber or stylist person on board. So they included them in the lineup. So very excited. Not my dream lineup, but what I'm excited about. One is that like these are bands I probably some of these I would have seen at when we were young, but I was able to prioritize other bands because I knew I would be seeing them on the cruise. So was very excited about that just to give me more options. Also, a lot of bands that I've become obsessed with are bands that I have seen, like I went to go see live because they opened for someone else or tickets were good, like they were available, right? And I knew I liked some of their songs, but then I became obsessed with them after seeing them live. So I'm really excited to be seeing a lot of bands I haven't seen before with the hopes that maybe one or two, maybe even three of them, I can come away like fully obsessed with them. And that expands the bands that I like and we'll go see. Because some of these bands I've seen touring around like Nashville or places I tend to travel to. So very excited about that. So the way it works on the boat is each band, and I don't know if this is like specific every single year, but looking at the lineup this year in the schedule, every band is performing like 2 to 3 times. Most of them, it looks like at least 3 times. And there's different places they're performing. I didn't go on the cruise before. I have no idea how this is going to work. I've only been on one cruise before in my entire life. and I did not love it. So I'm very interested in how this experience is. But the different stages, one is on the pool deck, which seems like it's going to be the most fun. I saw videos and images of this last year, but looked like a total blast, especially because you could be like in the pool or like on the upper like deck looking down. Like there's so many places to listen and watch. So that's exciting. There's a Stardust stage, which is, it says decks 6 and 7. Um, so I'm guessing that's like a main, like maybe lobby-ish area. I don't know. We'll see. Spinnaker, which is going to be on deck 13, maybe one of like the rooms, or like where a show would be on a cruise, maybe. I don't know. The Atrium, which is deck 7, um, makes me think like more of like a stage and like an open area. And then the Bliss stage, which is deck 7 as well. And that I'm assuming is like a room. And then they have like a sports court because there's like some other events and things that they're doing. But each band is performing, it looks like at least 3 times, and then they're gonna kind of vary based on those different stages. I believe the use is always going to be on the pool deck. Each day is a little bit different, but a lot of them, it looks like they are going to kind of alternate to the different stages. So different environments, which I think is a really cool thing because you can see at least every band once and they're varying times. Like the use is in the evening most of the time, but they're also like earlier in the set. They're not always the last band performing, which is kind of cool. So you can see different times if you're like eating dinner at a certain time, go to bed early, whatever you want to be doing, or going to some of the other events. You shouldn't miss seeing everyone at least once. The approach that we are taking to navigating the schedule is that we are going to see every band once, and the bands that I already know that I really like at least twice. The used we will see all 3 times, or at least try to make the set all 3 times. But it may be like, oh, we're gonna like go for a walk around and come around to the set, or hang out in the pool, or something like that. So not everyone will be like fully in watching. That's my expectation. So again, I'm going to come back with the reality, but that's my prediction of how we are going to be addressing this. Because with the schedule, they start the shows at like afternoon time. So they're not starting the shows super, super early. Um, like a festival, I feel like you would expect maybe 10 or 11 to be the starting time, or even earlier. For these, I believe most shows start at like 1-ish at the earliest, 2, like very early afternoon. So you should be able to like get up, eat, do whatever you want to in the morning. Maybe do some of the other events. Again, there's a Emo Jeopardy. There is a dating show Ariel is going to be hosting, which is fun. I don't think I'll be able to go to that. They're doing like a live, I think, podcast recording called the Tonight Show with Matt and some of the probably band members or different Emos Not Dead team members. There's also a dodgeball tournament. There's a flip cup tournament. There is a swag swap. Like there are so many different things on this cruise. And if you are into all of those things, that you could fill your entire day with all these different things. It's pretty wild. And then every night the emo band is performing like late night, and then they have the emo social part late night. Will we make it to any emo socials? I don't think so, because we are more morning people. We're probably going to be the ones waking up, going for a run around the deck, going to work out, like making sure we get, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'll probably be prioritizing that in my sleep more than I will those late night things, but you never know. It depends on how I feel. It depends on the vibe, the friends I make, whatever else may be going on there. I'm going with my husband, so I'll probably be sticking pretty closely to him. So the way that we approach the schedule is we try to make sure we're incorporating time to relax. We aren't doing any of the extra events. We didn't prepare for the swag swap. Maybe next year. It just feels very overwhelming to me. I want to see we might go to Emo Jeopardy because that would be fun. We also may go to the Tonight Show because I think that would be interesting. So it's in our schedule. So I took the main schedule, made a little note in my phone with our schedule. And then we have some kind of question marks of like, we could see this, we don't have to do that. Just in case we need some downtime, because we also want to relax. This is a vacation after all. The cruise itself is leaving from Miami and it's going to Nassau, Bahamas, and back. And they have, even in Miami, like some unofficial like pre-parties. I believe some of the bands are playing shows in Miami like nights or two before. There's a Facebook group for everyone on the cruise, and people are connecting, people are sharing rooms. Like it's such a fun way to connect to community, truly, if you're interested in going, but you don't have someone that you would automatically go with. But people are already planning like meetups. There's hotels that had blocks of rooms for cruisers. Like it's pretty exciting to see just how people are connecting over it. We're not doing any of those things in Miami. We are going maybe to go out to dinner, and like we're going to get to Miami the night before, but won't be doing like all the things just because I mentioned this in episode one. I am an energy conserver and I know my limits. I know my boundaries. And if I go too hard, too fast, I will burn out by the end of the cruise. And I want to get everything out of the cruise. So I'm trying to conserve at the beginning as much as I possibly can and be realistic for myself. So that's how I'm approaching it. But there are lots of options. People are going to be having the week of their lives for this cruise if they do all the things, like all of it. So with the schedule and the cruise, there are also theme nights. So in the Facebook group, they put together some unofficial theme nights. I believe they have like a Disney theme and a pajama theme. Will I be doing those? No, that's not my vibe, but they're there and it's cool. They also have the official themes. So they're having like a tiki night theme. I believe that's the same day that they have the stop in Nassau. And so that's the day where the shows, there's fewer concerts that day because during like the excursions and all of that, there's no shows on the boat. I plan to stay on the boat because I just want to relax. But I don't even know if you can do that. So we'll see. But other people will be out doing their thing in Nassau and then come back and then concerts all night. So more of like a traditional concert, but still so many bands, almost like every one of the bands I mentioned playing that day. It's just wild. I don't know how this is logistically possible, but here we are. So that day there's less. And I believe that night is like a tiki night theme. I will not be participating. But the last night is a Halloween theme where it's like costume, there's like costume contest. In the schedule, it is not clear when we're supposed to put on our costumes. I told you I have anxiety and I like clear expectations. I am so confused. And I am planning to participate in that one. I told myself I'd participate in one of the themes, and that's the one I chose because my husband and I are not really Halloween people. We're kind of decorate for Christmas early people. And so we don't really do a lot for Halloween. It's just never been something we've been fully into. So, like, as a couple, I don't think we've ever done a couple's costume. And I thought it would be fun. And so we are doing it. Our costume theme is the sad kid with his dark, stormy cloud. So I'm going to be the storm cloud. So I've made a whole thing. I will show you when it is complete in my recap. But there are lights included. I have no idea how I'm going to get it on the plane. I'm going to get it there, but we're going to do it. But I'm the storm cloud, and my husband will be the sad kid. So, like, he's crying. Kept it super simple for him. But for me, that is my costume. I put a lot of work into it, and I hope that I am the only one that's storm cloud. We'll see. I'm very interested in how people, I'm assuming a lot of people are going to do like plays off of like bands, probably lots of My Chemical Romance, like Gerard Way characters. I would assume a lot of like music video themed characters. So excited for that. I don't know what else to expect. Like, I really don't know what people are going to do. So I'm excited to see how creative people are about it. Because I know a lot of people are really into it. And then they have these different like competition awards, which I don't know how you get. But if I could win the DIY award, I would really love it. Do I think I deserve it? I think some people will likely be even more creative. Mine's pretty darn creative. So I'm very excited about that. But that's my theme that we're going to do as long as I don't get too scared to actually like wear the costume, which is possible because I am anxious and socially I get really nervous. And so we'll see. So, our schedule, what we're going to do, I made it on a note on my phone so you can see, but we're boarding a little bit later in the day. They have a MySpace mixer that starts at 1 or 2. I put it in our schedule for 2, but I think it starts at 1. We're boarding around 1, but you can board as early, I think at like 8 a.m. Some people are going to get on the ship very early. We decided that we would want to stay out maybe later in Miami the night before, take it easy, go get breakfast in Miami. Like food in Miami is amazing. So we're going to take our time getting to the ship. And we also wanted to get into our room as quickly as we can and not just be like hanging around. But we'll check out the ship. We'll probably go by the MySpace Mixer to meet some people. So we're excited about that. May also just go to get in the pool, see where all the stages are, all that. They have when the boat takes off, there's a big kickoff, and then boys like girls like start it out, which is going to be really fun, like perfect way to start out. So we'll all be on the pool deck listening to boys like girls. And then like food is not clear either. So we're going to try to squeeze dinner in. And then we'll go see Hawthorne Heights, the early November, the used, and then probably go to bed or go to the emo social, but likely we will be going to bed after that because that will be around midnight. The next day, so the first like full cruise day, we plan to work out and eat breakfast, get ready, pool time, all that stuff, grab lunch, and then scary kids scaring kids. We'll do that probably while like being in the pool because it's on the pool deck. Emo Jeopardy, Seosin, State Champs, Your Broken Hero, Boys Like Girls, Chiodos, and early November, all in the same day. Maybe the emo band after, if we're still into it, but the early November starts at 11:30. So it's either that or the emo band, most likely. Thursday, that's the Bahamas day. We may go into the Bahamas. We booked an excursion and then we canceled it because the reviews were not great. And I would just want to say, like with any cruise, I think it wasn't necessarily cheap. And so we're kind of taking the approach of like, we're not going to overspend more on something we don't really care about. We're not huge beach people, Caribbean people. So we may go out and explore a little bit of Nassau, but probably only for a couple of hours. And honestly, we may just enjoy the ship if we can. Hot tub, pool, read a book, maybe work out, whatever we want to do on the ship because everyone's going to be gone. We'll probably eat lunch on the ship if we can, if it's available, and then get dinner. And then that night, we're going to see Emery, The Used, Norma Jean, Lydia, and then State Champs. Just wild to think that this is the reality of what we're going to be doing next week. And then Friday, the last full day on the ship, hopefully workout, pool time, yeah, normal morning things. And then in the afternoon, Norma Jean, I guess after that, put on her costume. I don't know where this is going to fit in. Maybe we're supposed to wear it all day. Like I didn't really think about that, but mine literally has a battery and power. I can't be in a pool with it. So we'll see. But Taylor Acorn, Hawthorne Heights, The Tonight Show, Reclaim the Fallen, The Used, and The Spill canvas as our last show of the cruise. And then we disembark on Saturday. So maybe Friday night, maybe we'll go do the emo social, the emo band, like the late night things. We'll see how we feel. But that is our current plan. So I'll come back and tell you the reality of this schedule because right now this schedule feels very overwhelming. It feels like my feet are going to hurt. It feels like I'm going to be exhausted. And when am I going to eat? I'm a dietitian by trade. So that's all I'm thinking about. Like, what am I going to eat? When am I going to drink water? What's happening? I don't know. But that leads me to my nerves and my excitements. I've already expressed some of them, but I want to share them as part of my expectations because I'm curious how, again, it's going to play out and what's going to happen. Right now, we plan to buy tickets and do the cruise again next year, as of now. But this could change depending on how some of these things play out. So my nerves, getting sick, seasickness as well. I put these separately, nausea. Seasickness, I'm taking Dramamine. I'm going to tackle that. But I am terrified of getting sick because there are going to be germs everywhere. And that's something people keep making me afraid of. So I will be bringing sanitizer, spray, hand sanitizer, like for my hands. I will be bringing wipes. And if you're sick, I will also have a mask on board and I will run away from you because I do not want to get sick, especially foodborne illness like stomach sick. Absolutely not. I told you in episode 1, I have IBS. I am, as my trade, I'm a dietitian in digestive health and GI. I work with a lot of people and I know what happens when you get a stomach virus sick and I don't want it. So I'm going to try to avoid it. I'm very nervous about finding time to relax with the pack schedule. I'm very nervous. I'm nervous I'm going to be exhausted, overwhelmed, and feel bad by the end. And I hope that's not true. I think it'll be more relaxed than I'm expecting. I'm just nervous. I'm nervous about finding water. People in the Facebook group are freaking me out. The people that are like cruisers all the time. My first cruise was 2017, and I just don't remember a lot of it. And it was also planned by someone else. Is there filtered water? Like, when am I going to drink water? I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm also nervous about what shoes to wear and my clothes and like comfort. Thinking about being like at a resort or on a cruise or at the beach, and then thinking about a concert, I am in my 30s. I go to concerts with shoes that have a lot of support. I have my concert shoes, and they are not those like flat little Converse that we used to wear back in the day. Sometimes I'll wear boots. I'm not wearing these on the cruise, but more often than not, I'm wearing either my Converse lug platforms. They're very comfortable, like the rubber sole. I like those. I also have a pair of these like Pumas that kind of look like, I don't know what they look like, maybe kind of a chunky van, but like I bought them once at an outlet and they're the most comfortable shoes. They're thick, they have a wide like sole so my foot can move around. They're platform, they're rubber, they're really light. Those are my concert shoes because they never fail me. I always feel good. I can dance around in them, I can stand in them for hours and I'm okay. I do not wear uncomfortable shoes. I don't have a pair of sandals that I feel good enough being in for long periods at a time. So, what am I going to wear? I'm bringing the concert shoes. Do I get in and out of the pool with like sneakers? Or like, are we wearing boots? Like, what are we wearing? I don't know. And even looking at my clothes, it's like, I guess just like bathing suits with like big band tees and like shorts. I don't know. I'm nervous about it. I will be packing this weekend. Maybe I'll share some of that. I'll show you guys what I pack. I'll add that to this episode, unless I just get, I don't want to. We'll see. But I want to feel good and feel comfortable. I want to look good too. I want to look hot. We all do. But more than anything, I want to feel comfortable. So I'm gonna have to test that out. So we'll see. I'm also very excited to see the girlies though, who are like going all out with the cool style. Like, it's gonna be the coolest cruise ever. The first cruise I saw more people than I wanted to see, and it was kind of sloppy. I am excited for this one with my people because people are going to be dressed interesting and have cool accessories and all the fun stuff, the fun makeup. Like, I'm excited for it. So bring it all. Okay, excitements. Seeing new bands I've never seen. Absolutely. I especially like Chiodo Seisen state champs. I know after when we were young, people were talking about how great those sets were. And I didn't see them, like people in the Facebook group, because they were all excited about like the bands that we were all about to see. The Facebook group has been so fun to learn about some of these other bands, what people love, they don't, tips from last year, all that stuff. But I'm really excited. They've gotten me excited. So I've been listening to them a little bit. I haven't fully committed because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go in and like enjoy it. I don't have to know the words to every song to have my like best time. And if I absolutely love a set, I can like binge it that next morning and then see the set again or see the new version of the set. One thing I didn't mention with the sets is there are some special sets. Some are like acoustic, some are doing like a full album. Like I think Hawthorne Heights has like a regular set, acoustic set, and then a 20 Years of Tears set. So some bands are doing it that way. I don't know what I think about that because I just like all the hits and like all the music, but it's fine because it'll mix it up a little bit. And I know some people are really excited about that. So excited about the different bands and sets I've never seen. Being in a crowd with people with similar interests, very excited. I think my first cruise experience was bad because of some of the people I was around. And so being around people who have similar interests, and like I'm assuming that the ship, like all throughout, it's going to be the things that we like. And like, what's better than that? When we were young was kind of that way, but Vegas wasn't. But like now we're on a ship where we're all together and like it's curated for us, like very excited. Not having internet at work. I did not pay for the Wi-Fi package. It was like $35 a day per person for like one device each. And I think if you got it for one person, you had to for others, like very weird with all the different packages and things. We didn't pay for it. So I'm just taking off. And I do run my own business. And I'm just very excited to like take time off and not be connected to the internet for a while. I will take videos. I will make posts for later. Like I'll share with you what happened, but not in real time. I will probably connect, when we're in Nassau. So maybe we'll see, but I'm excited to be unplugged a little bit. Singing some of my favorite songs with the crowds that also love them. Nothing beats it. Best feeling ever. Very excited about it. And then being in a space that's curated with things that I love. Again, very excited. Those are my excitements. The cruise itself, like, again, I'm not a big cruise person. The first time I went on a cruise, I got very freaked out by being in the middle of the ocean. I'm very nervous about that, but I'm not even trying to turn on that part of my brain. So I'm not including it. But there is more to this too with my own anxiety that I'm worried about. So here's some of my predictions. My first prediction that I hope does not happen because I will freak out is that someone's going to throw up near me and I'm going to have a panic attack. It happened at when we were young. I freaked out. I cannot handle it. I have not strong emetophobia, but a little bit. And I'm nervous because I feel like some people are getting that like all you can drink package and they are not going to pace themselves and it's not going to be good. Am I getting the drink package? No, because it's too expensive. And I don't drink alcohol at concerts because I want to feel my best. I don't eat too much around concerts. I am very careful with concerts because I want to feel my best and experience the concert. That's how I approach concerts. Not everyone does that. And some people are going to not have a good, or they're going to have a good experience, but it's going to be messy. And I'm going to have to experience them being messy. And I am not looking forward to that, but I just predict it's going to happen. I will be sitting and relaxing for at least half the sets, probably because of the shoes I have to wear, but also like I'm going to be on a ship. And I hope that that's true. Because if I can be in a hot tub listening to a band, like singing along, my 30, almost 33-year-old self is in heaven, right? That's what I want. And that's what I hope. Some of the acoustic sets are going to flip into full sets. It happened last year. Yellowcard was supposed to do an acoustic set, I think, of Ocean Avenue, and they flipped it into a full set because the full set was way more fun and the crowd was really into it. So I think some of the people doing acoustic sets aren't actually going to do an acoustic set. That's my prediction. We'll see how it actually goes. I don't have a lot of other predictions. I do have a suspicion, and we're less than 1 week out, so this would be crazy. But one of the bands is going to get replaced last minute. It already happened with Hey Monday to Taylor Acorn. Last year it was supposed to be there. Sleeping with Sirens. I'm probably wrong. I don't think it was. Someone tell me if you went on the cruise last year. Last year, there was a band that was originally supposed to be there, and they got replaced by Underoath last minute because Underoath was there the year before, so they weren't supposed to be there, but they were there last minute. I would die. I'd love if Underoath replaced a band this year or Story of the Year, like one of the bands that are close. It would be very lucky and amazing. But I have a prediction that someone's going to be out last minute, and a very, very, very last minute announcement is that we are going to have that replacement. I also have a prediction that it is going to slightly rain at least once on the ship, and we're all going to freak out a little bit, but it'll be okay. And I have a prediction that my cloud hat that I made, not fully thinking about the fact that I might be on a pool deck where the wind is crazy, is going to fall into a million pieces and possibly end up in the ocean, which I would cry, but we'll all be crying. So good. Those are some pretty doom and gloom predictions. What's another prediction? My prediction is that I'm not planning to buy any merch, but I probably will buy one thing. All right, so we can pack together. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I'm packing and how I'm approaching that. Again, I am a dietitian by trade. I will be packing different supplements, snacks. I will be packing electrolytes. Some people will smuggle other things in. I will be smuggling in the things that keep me alive and feeling my best. Dramamine, all those things. So I'll share that with you if you're like, again, you have anxiety like me. And I will try to, while I'm there, take pictures, videos of some of the cool things and hopefully see some of you and maybe interview you. I'm bringing my microphones. Will I have the courage to actually do it? I don't know. I feel insecure and scared out of my mind, but I really want to hear from people. So we'll see. Maybe we'll come back with some of that, possibly. And we'll come back with some stories, and maybe even I can bring Alex in because he's coming with me and he's excited as well. I'll bring Alex in and we could talk more about our experience and what the cruise was like. Me for the Emo's Not Dead cruise. Starting off in Miami, a little date night before we leave. This outfit, 2 bathing suits, nothing more. 1 cover up that is just my husband's old shirt, some of my favorite band tees that I can use as cover ups and for the shows, a couple of pairs of shorts, a couple of tank tops, keeping it very simple to rewear things, a few little layering tops just in case it gets cold, and then a couple of workout clothes that will also double as things I can wear for the concert, kind of going with the same vibe I'm wearing right now. I have 1 outfit that I'm using for my costume, so a little tulle corset with a tulle
skirt. You'll see the top of the costume in a moment. And then I have my pants and my Emo's Not Dead sweatshirt in case I get cold, but also just to board the boat. I did bring the best hat, Mayday Parade, and some cheap sunglasses, 2 pairs in case one gets lost, broken, whatever may happen to it, and then a few pairs of shoes, my go-to concert shoes, some sandals, and my running shoes for working out. This is the top of my costume. Will they confiscate it? I don't know, but I'm going to put it in this carry-on and it will come with me and hopefully make it on the ship and to the costume night. For makeup, I added a little extra, some face sparkles, of course, my black mascara, lots of black eyeliner, and then all the sunscreens that I could need, aloe in case I get sunburnt, all of my skincare, makeup remover, vitamin C, my face wash, all of my toners, my spray to kind of keep myself hydrated and clear throughout the day, hair care products, my curl brush, pimple patches, all the scrunchies, and of course, snacks. I'm terrified that I won't have enough. So I packed a ton of packaged snacks, all my supplements that I may need, electrolytes, fiber. I also brought Dramamine just in case, and all the sanitizers to keep me from getting sick, and a little first aid kit just in case anything bad happens. See you on the ship.
All right. So as we end, we always end the show, always as in like the first 2 episodes, with moments. So these are little moments in time that we remember, experiences that we've had. And ideally, these are going to come from you, our community. So I need you to share them with me so that I can interject your experiences and your moments into the podcast. But for now, it's only going to be mine because that's all we have. So today's moment is going to be the first time I saw Story of the Year live. Because as I told you in episode 1, my favorite band to see live right now is Story of the Year, and has been for the last, like, since I saw them this one time. And this was, let's see, not 2020, 2021, because the following years, whenever Yellowcard did that comeback tour in 2022. Okay, I believe it was January or February of 2022. I looked up my calendar and I can't find it, but it was post-COVID and when concerts started fully coming back. And I live in Nashville. Concerts never 100% went away, but bands touring in Nashville, coming to Nashville, and some of the bigger venues like actually selling out started happening around like late 2021, 2022. So Story of the Year is coming. Hawthorne Heights is opening for them. And I saw it through a local group here in Nashville called Nashville is the Reason. So they posted about it. We were making a little bit more money at that time. We could go to concerts quickly. It was at Brooklyn Bowl here in Nashville. It was like $50 a ticket, which was way more affordable than most, maybe even less than that. Honestly, we might have gotten them for like $25 a ticket. Very affordable. So I was like, we're going to go. Has my husband ever really listened to Story of the Year or Hawthorne Heights at that point? No, but he had gotten into some of the other music that I like, has listened to my happy playlist that I referenced in part 1. I'm going to add that to show notes too if you want to know and listen to the happy playlist. But he had started listening to that, a little bit of Story of the Year's on there. So we plan it. It's like a weeknight. We go make it a date. We go out to dinner before and we go to the show. And it was incredible. One, it was like one of the first shows we had gone to since COVID because our bands hadn't really been touring fully yet. So we're there and Hawthorne Heights opened. Like someone opened before Hawthorne Heights, and I can't remember who it was. And my memory has failed me on that. Probably fine. But Hawthorne Heights opened. It was like, oh my God. I hadn't seen Hawthorne Heights ever live either. Like this is such a throwback. Like the singer is like older now, but like casual, relaxed, fun, engaging. Like we got to talk, like, it was like a conversation with a friend, and then we're all singing these songs like karaoke. It was wonderful. So they perform. We are at the back of the venue, kind of near the sound booth. So it's like the stage, then the big floor. They have an upstairs area. That night that wasn't open. So we were in the back and I was standing. There's like some stairs that kind of go down to the floor. So I was on the stairs and my husband was down a little bit, or a foot. He's a foot taller than me. So I was able to see. I stood beside a couple where he was wearing the girlfriend's shirt that was like still emo, like, you know, that shirt. And it was just really fun. It was like a fun way to connect to people that we just hadn't in concert venues in so long because of COVID. And it was so much fun. So Hawthorne Heights opened. I was like, oh my God, I'm back as a kid again. This was so great. And in between, I bought my Hawthorne Heights shirt because I was like, I'm going to buy a piece of merch. Probably the first concert merch I'd purchased in a very long time. And talked to the lead singer for a while and just got to share like, thank you. This was amazing. Like I'm reliving like my teen years. Like I'm having so much fun. And then Story of the Year went on. The energy that Story of the Year brings. And at that point in time, I knew their hits. Like I knew their bigger songs, of course. I knew a little bit more from Page Avenue because I'd listened through it every now, like a little bit, but I'd never taken a lot of time to focus on their music and like really dive into it. And little did I know, I mean, I was a Yellow Card fan. I didn't really know they had so much beef back in the day. Not anymore, but maybe I was just like on one side of it. So like never got introduced. Who knows? But they brought so much energy that the entire crowd, kind of like my first Yellow Card concert, like the entire crowd was just having fun. And we left, and even my husband was like, that was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like I think I'm a fan. I'm a fan of their music. I'm a fan now. And I was like, you know what? Me too. Like I knew I liked their top songs, but I want to go listen to more of their music. We listened to them on the way home. And since then we both I know every lyric to almost every one of their songs. Like I've got their album, Page Avenue, right here. It'll see little bird, but I'm a big fan now. We have seen them. So we saw them that year at the beginning of the year. I believe that they also came back to Nashville towards the end of that year, saw them again, also at Brooklyn Bowl. Then the next year, Yellow Card did their comeback tour and Story of the Year opened for the show that we went to in New York City. And I believe it was only, I think Story of the Year was always going to open and they added Mayday Parade, or it might have swapped. Where it was Mayday Parade, then Story of the Year was added and we freaked out. But either way, we were so happy. Incredible, like as an incredible performance there as well. So we saw them like early of the year 2022, later in the year 2022. Then we saw them again summer of 2023. And then I believe we saw them one more time in 2023. Like maybe they came back to Nashville again, like in December or something. And then in 2024, last year, we saw them we went to Indianapolis to see them. And then we saw them again at when we were young. So far in 2025, they would come to Nashville every winter and they are not scheduled like to come. I was looking at their tour dates yesterday. So I was like, I need my fix of Story of the Year. Like those shows bring me to life, honestly. Like I think because I'm just screaming the lyrics and dancing and the energy and it's fun. And I want them to come back. So Story of the Year, if you're connected at all, if somehow I'm reaching you, come back to Nashville. Or just announce your next tour soon so we know where we can travel because we do travel for concerts now. We will travel, but we can't travel to you if you're not touring beyond festivals and we don't want to go to another festival right now. So please tour again. Come back. That is my moment when I fell in love with Story of the Year. And my husband also did. And since then, it's never been the same because we're always on board to go. And that's what we listen to when we work, when we're in a car, all that. Well, that's a wrap on today's episode and today's school session. Next time, we will either dive into the history of emo or we're going to do the recap of the cruise. Probably recap of the cruise first because I'm literally leaving. Like I'm recording this on a Wednesday right now and I leave Monday night for Miami and the cruise takes off Tuesday. So less than a week, I am on the cruise. So we will be recapping that very quickly and sharing some of the moments there. Hopefully we'll have a really fun, maybe even more interesting e-moment for you. But thank you for listening. As always, if you want to be part of this little emo family and community, subscribe, follow, like whatever you need to do to get new episodes. And if you want to share your e-moment, if you want to come on, let's talk virtually, and you want to share some things that you love, history of bands, some of your favorite experiences, what emo music or emo culture, whatever means to you, whatever it may be, I'm open. Check the show notes, email me. Let's set it up. I would love to have you on because this is, again, We are students together in this school. We are here together. This is a community for all of us, not just me. So I'd love to have you here. But thank you again, and I'll see you in the next class.